Hello Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using this deck, which I lost the box, so I don't know the name of it. But if you know the name of it, feel free to mention it below, and I will put it in the description. And for the supportive oracle cards, Chakra, Wisdom, Oracle cards. Yep. And below is who created them, Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name, so I don't butcher it. Okay. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Capricorn. Okay, yeah. That's okay. Let's see what's happened. There's a lot like so there's this whole situation in the center. Failure to launch. First thing I popped in my head. Nine of Wands. Nope. The Nine of Swords reversed is kind of like a situation that didn't take off, but with the Nine of Swords reversed, I'm kind of feeling like it was kind of like a burden, release of a burden. It's kind of like, even though you might not have liked it at first, it really did make things easier for you. It might have like relaxed things a bit, made your life a little easier. Some of you may not have liked that, but the most of you, the majority of you, I actually feel like this was a welcome thing. Something didn't happen. Well, it's interesting because I feel like you might have pulled out of a situation. Like it got to a point you're like, you know what, I have to step out. I have to pull myself out. For some of you, I feel like there's some medical reason that you had to pop out. You're like, I have to stop. I can't do this anymore. So you exited a situation which released a lot of stress, pulled down the stress level a lot. Things were a lot better for you. This was a positive move for you. The result, anyway. The result was a positive mood. How's that? Because I feel like some people are going to, like, they went through something very devastating medical-wise, and it forced them to slow down. It was actually, the slowdown was necessary. So the way you got there may have been uncomfortable, but you had to do it. For some of you, it was a good thing. For others, it wasn't. But the result was good. I feel like it's being pushed very strongly. The result was necessary. But you being taken out of a situation, if the situation failed. I get the Three of Wands reversed, like things like really, whatever it was that you got pulled out of this situation, you had to stop, either whether you elected to or not, the situation failed, is what I'm getting. It doesn't even feel like it's stalled, it feels like it failed. Now, well, I guess this would make sense. I have a feeling a lot of you had some medical problems. I'm getting like a heart thing, so I don't know what that's about. Or some type of breathing, you know, some type of anxiety attack. There could be a lot of it medical. I think we'll just blanket it with medical. Because recovery is coming in right after this. And while you're going through this recovery, you've got the Five of Cups and the Four of Swords. This is how they came out of the deck. They were face down. So until this actually happens, till you're actually going through this, it shouldn't make any sense until it's actually happening. But the Five of Cups is kind of like, is there more good or more bad here? It's kind of like, is there an optimistic outlook or pessimistic outlook? Like, you know, optimism, pessimism. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And then the Four of Swords on its side is, are you blocked? Do you need more rest? Or can you release this and can you go back to doing what you used to do? It's kind of like, it's all depending on the recovery, because it could take some time before you're actually ready to get into this situation again. I feel like a lot of you, like, you went through something big. Like, it feels like it didn't take you out of the game completely, but it was a moment. Now, there's a lot of support here around you, and I get this, but the Page of Wands, that's somebody who actively will step in and actively help you. But they're kind of looking to see where you are and what you need and what works for you and what you want. They're not just going to create something for you. They're going to wait to see what you want and then assist you and help you making what you want happen. Like, if you, for example, if you're recovering from an illness and you need help getting groceries, you have to ask them to do that. If you need help, you know, picking up the house, or you need help maybe walking down the stairs, something like that, anything, you got to say that you want it and you're a part of it and you want this to happen. Things like that. You have to actively participate here, and you have to, like, say, this is what I want, and you will get the support you need. And I'm feeling that We're good with that, right? Now, this Destiny card right in the center, they're like, I feel like they're kind of like saying, I feel like a lot of you, this is saying you're going to make it through this situation. That's Destiny. I feel like you will. They're saying, you're going to make it through this situation. But I'm getting like the car, like, how do I explain this? If you're going to take a trip, like I'm in New York, if you're going to go from New York to California and back again, and you're going to do it like 5 or 6 times, just for argument's sake, you're going to do it. The car will make it. But it's like, if you take care of the car, give it the oil changes, make sure it doesn't get beat up, you drive it responsibly, you don't go crazy with it, you know what I mean, you don't hit a lot of potholes, you don't take it down a lot of bad roads, you don't, overrun it, it'll serve you, it'll make it. It's up to you how enjoyable this ride is, though, because if you don't get the oil changes, if you don't take care of it, if you let it run out of gas a few times, you know what I mean, if you don't treat it well, and you drive it kind of roughly down bad roads, you don't take care of it, it'll still make it, but it's going to be a bumpy, clunky ride the whole way. You might end up hating the whole ride. So that's what they're warning with Destiny. Like, yeah, you're going to make it, but it's up to you and like how much you like it. I think that's what this whole reading is going to be about. I think that's what we're already starting with. Like, it's a bad moment, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, it's a bad moment. Yeah, but you're designed to get through. But it's up to you how much you enjoy it. You're going to make it. You're going to get through this. You're going to survive it, whatever this is. But if you don't put in the effort to make it a better situation, I feel like this is a harsh reading, but it is what it is. If you decide you're not going to do it, I feel like for those of you, especially Capricorns, I feel like you know yourself well, you know yourself better than I ever could. You don't want to do it, guess what? It's not going to happen. The Capricorns especially, I know, and I feel like it's Capricorns and Tauruses especially when it comes to earth signs. Virgo's an earth sign too, obviously. But it's like, especially Capricorns, I've noticed, like, when they're like, I'm not doing it, guess what? They're not doing it. And you push them, they're not going to be nice about it. They're going to be like, listen, I said I'm not going to do it, and then they'll tell you why, and it's going to be quite colorful. The ones I've experienced, anyway. So if you don't want to do it, you ain't going to do it. And they're saying, like, yeah, you're going to make it through the situation, but if you don't want to do anything, nobody's going to make you do anything you don't want to do, in the sense of, like, you don't want to take care of things, you don't want things to go better, you just want to kind of make it through how you need to, then nobody's going to force you, nobody's going to try to, nobody's going to be able to even if they try. So, the question here is, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to, because I feel like, just to be fair, this is coming in upside down, saying at first you're not going to want to, so they're going to say, they're acknowledging that, like, yeah, the first step's kind of the hardest. And for those of you this is really going to hit with, it's kind of like, you don't want to make that first step. You just don't want to do it. And it makes sense. You don't. Whatever it is, like, it's a general read. Take it for whatever it applies to for you. That first step, you don't really want to do it. No matter where you're seeing it going, taking that first step is kind of like, I don't really want to. And they're saying that's okay. That's okay. That's a natural part of this. But it's up to you. If that's going to go this way, that's completely 100% up to you. You've got a lot of support around you. There's a lot built up around you. These are both right side up in the reading. The Page of Wands and then the Eight of Pentacles later is saying there's a lot here for you. There's a lot here that you can call on. A lot where you can make this a lot better for yourself. It's not easily visible is what I'm getting with this card. Because you see how the brush in front of it there? Because the way I'm reading it is kind of like it's down in the forest a little bit. So you got to search it out. You got to go down in the forest and find all these good things. And they're there for you. They are there for you. You're going to have to search it out a bit. It's up to you. You're going to hit that moment where you realize it. Like, I feel like for the people this is, again, hitting for, you're going to realize it with the High Priestess energy, and don't get caught up in the gender, but it's just basically saying, you're going to realize you're going to make it through this situation, and that if you want to put in the extra effort, it will be more to your liking. It may not be the exact payoff you want. Like, if you're investing in property, you might enjoy the people on the property more than the sale or the value of the property. Like, that's what I mean by may not pay out the way you want to. Like, if you're investing in property, and it's a nice property, and hopefully you're hoping to make a lot of good money on it, you may not make the money off of it you want, but you probably will enjoy the people who are living on it. It's almost like I've seen people do this before. It makes me think of Capricorn very much. Building something up, fixing something up, and then letting somebody you care or love about rent it from you for a discounted price and not making out on it what you wanted. But on the other hand, feeling that this person is taken care of and safe and secure, and you know the type of living conditions they're in, that actually does balance it out for you. Something like that. Like, it's not going to pay out exactly the way you want it to, but it's still going to give you a nice benefit that maybe you weren't expecting. I feel like a lot of you, whatever you're going through, whatever the situation is, however this applies for you, it's hard to get started, and I feel like the reason it's hard to get started is because it looks like a really long road. And it's not like you're afraid of a long road, but it's kind of like it's a long road to get to the point where you're happy again, and you're questioning if you really can be. In this situation, I feel like you're questioning if you really can be happy again, and it looks like a really long road. For some of you, this is definitely hitting as a relationship thing, like fixing something, making this right again, putting the effort into it. Just feels like it takes a lot to make that happen. And it can go bad, and that's what you're afraid of. You're like, there's no guarantee here. And I feel like that's another thing that's bothering you. It's kind of like, there's not really a guarantee here. I could put in a lot of work, and it just goes to nothing. But I feel like the balance of that is you could put in a lot of nothing and get definitely nothing. How do I put this? So it's basically you have a choice. Put in nothing, you will definitely get nothing back. That's a for sure. It's a for sure fail. That's like, you don't try, you definitely are not going to make it. You know what I mean? If you don't try, you definitely fail. On the other hand, you try, you have a good chance of success. But one of those ways has no chance of success. You know what I mean? You don't try, no success. It's not going to happen. You try, you at least have a chance of success. You know what I mean? And it's pretty good. I don't think it's bad. Like, I think you have a good chance of success here. Impatience with the Magician reversed is kind of like, it's hard to feel it's going to work out. It just feels like it's so far out there, and you're like, what if I get halfway down this road and something knocks me down again? You're not going to know if you don't try. If you don't try, you definitely fail. If you try, you have at least a chance of success. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. That's all it's saying. That's what it's all about. That's what this whole reading is about. So whatever it is you're looking at, they're saying, yeah, give it a shot, because if you don't try, definitely fail. You do try, you have a good chance of success. I know it's a general read, but that's what they're saying. Good chance of success. That's what it is. All right, is there anything else I should get from this? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for purchasing. No, thank you for Thank you for watching. If you'd like to get a reading from me, though, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.